So now, so today we will discuss the concept of probability. So anyone, what do you mean by probability?
The possibility of occurrence
Sir,
of an event.
probability.
Yeah, tell me.
Possibility of occurrence of any event.
Okay. So probability is the chance of occurrence of a particular event is known as a probability. So probability is very important in case of a planning. So if we want to analyze the things, we can, so there will be two conditions. So the two sphere conditions can be, the first is uncertainty. Uncertainty means that we don't know anything about the future. That is uncertain conditions, that we are not clear enough that what will be the future. So I don't know that what is the future next minute. There is a certainty up to for past and for the present, but if I'm talking of the future, there will be an uncertainty. So there is a condition like uncertainty of the future. So we are not sure what is going on to be in the next minute, or maybe next day, or maybe after a year, and so on. So that is the uncertainty about the future. The next thing, next extreme is your certainty. Certainty means that you are 100% sure that this particular thing will going to be happen. So that is your certainty. But the thing is, the future is uncertain. But if you want to take a decision, if it is a situation, better decisions can be taken in certainty or uncertainty. The better decisions can be taken under the position of certainty, because we know. Certainty means, suppose we take the example, I want to conduct a get together, and if in that get together I am 100% sure that my number of guests coming into that particular event will be like 50. So my planning will be as per according to the 50. So I'll make my arrangements of the, maybe your venue, maybe your uh, venue, and all that stuff I have to plan for the 50. So it will be a better planning, because I have 100% sure that my the number of guests arriving in my particular event is 50. So I have to make all the lodging, all the you can say transportation facilities, venue facility, and all that stuff according to the 50, and it will be an appropriate planning for that. But the problem is the uncertainty. I'm not sure that whether the 50 guests are arriving in my particular get together, or maybe it is 20, or maybe it is 100. So if I'm not certain about the future, how can I plan? It is very difficult to plan under the condition of uncertainty, because if I don't know that if the 20 guest is coming, or 50 is coming, or 100 is coming, so I have to plan according to that. So my venue may be small or big if I don't know about the number of guests who are coming in my particular get together. So that is the problem in the case of decisions under uncertainty. So it is always better to have decisions under certainty rather than uncertainty. But the problem is, it is always benefit to have the position of certainty rather than uncertainty to make the decisions. But the problem is, the certainty position never comes. You don't know about the future, as the characteristic of the future is uncertain. Nobody can predict the future. If the astrologers are there, they are predicting the future, but again there are, like, we cannot be 100% sure that this will be the thing which is occurring in our future. So certainty condition does not come, but decision making under uncertainty is very poor. So that's why we want a midway in between the two, which is known as a decision making under risk. Risk means you have to attach a probability to it. So we get the expected number of the guest. We are not getting the actual number of the guests, but through planning or through attaching our probability, we can come up with the expected number of guests. And now we can plan according to those expectations. That is the work of the probability. So suppose in our example, the probability says we can attach a probability to a particular guest. Like suppose you have make a invitation cards to invite your guest into your get together. Now, the nature of the guest will determine that if a particular person is your like real brother or a real sister, or your mother or your father, so you will be attaching 100% probability to those who are very very close to you, and you are 100% sure that in any circumstances they will be coming in your party. So that is, so your father, your mother, your real brothers, sisters, they have attached with the 100% probability that they are there in your get together. Now, the nature of the another guest. So one of the guest is like it is a friend of friend, but you have invited him or her. But now you have attached a lesser probability that he may or may not come. So we'll attach a maybe 20% probability to those number of guests who are you thinking that they are might be coming or they are might not be coming. So accordingly, we have to multiply, like said there, suppose there will be 20 guests who have attached with the probability of 20%. So there will be only 20% chance that the 20 guests is coming, actually coming in your get together. So your number of guests, expected number of guests becomes 20 into 0.2, which is 4. Similarly, you have attached some of the guests as 50% of the probability. So suppose 10 guests having the probability of 50%. So your expected number of guests becomes 10 into 0.5, which is 5. Fine. So 5 plus 4, 9, and maybe 10 individuals are those who have 100% probabilities, and 100 into 1, that is sorry, 20 or the guests which I have supposed to come in any case. So that 20 into 120. So total number of expected guests is, if you are making a invitation to 20 plus 10 plus 20. So 50 individuals, but your expected number of guests which are arriving actually in your get together is 20 plus 4 plus 9. So which is 29. So out of 50, your expected number comes out to be 29, and you have to plan the things for 29. Fine. So in this way, we can make our decisions effective with the use of probability. So like another case, I'll take the another example. So suppose you in the morning you get up and you want to leave for your office, and suddenly you are saying that today is the weather condition is like it may be a rain today. So you have to take a decision. It is a small decision that you have to take an umbrella with you or not. So now you have to take a decision before leaving to an office, that if you should take umbrella with you or not today. So that depends upon the attachment of a probability. If seeing the weather today it is pure sunny and there will be no chance of the rain, so there you will attach a 0% probability of rain. So you will make a decision that seeing the weather there is no chance of rain today, so I will not carry my umbrella today. But if seeing the weather you see that it is raining, so raining means if it is raining, it is certain that it is rain in future also. You take a decision to carry an umbrella with you. But seeing a weather there is not a rain, but there is a chance, like you attach, there is 70% chance that seeing the weather there is a cloudy weather. So seeing the weather you have attached that there is a 70% chance that is a rain today. So accordingly you take a decision to carry an umbrella with you. So the decision making cannot be done on the actual numbers, because if the actual numbers occurs, so we cannot plan. In a get together, once my guest arrive, so after the arrival of the guest I cannot plan, because once the number of guests arrive, maybe 30 or 35 guests are actually arrived in my get together, I cannot plan that time that I have to cook the food for this much individual, I have to book the venue for this much individual. It is not possible at that time. We have to plan for the menu, venue, all the arrangements in the prior to the event. It is not possible to arrange all the things at the time of implementation. So, but the thing is, we have to plan by attaching the probability to a particular outcome, that this is the probability of an event, and accordingly this is the probability, and the expected number of guests is this much. Now I have to plan for this expectations. So expectations may or may not be like I have attached 20% probability to one guest, but he is not coming, or he has come. So you have attached 20%, but actually it is 100% because he has arrived it. But the thing is, you don't know about the situation, and maybe at the time of your get together the rain comes. So the persons who are you have attached 100% probability also may have the chance that they have not to come. In this COVID situation, you have planned this situation, you get together like in the month of February. In the month of February, you have planned for maybe May. So you are very sure that the COVID is not much progressive in that. So you will be expected that there will be more number of guests. But actually when coming in May, the results is like the government has imposed a restriction that only 11 individuals can be there in the even a function of a marriage also. So that's the probability of this COVID does not exist at the time of your February. So that is the uncertainty in the future. So that's why it is very difficult to forecast the future. But the problem is we cannot take the decision at the time of implementation. We have to plan before, and we have no other way but to attach a probability to the event to come up with the required number. So individuals have their individual probabilities. May one have higher, may another have lower, and so on. And accordingly, we reach to a number of expected number of guests in my get together. And then we have to plan on that expected number. But the expected number can be calculated with the probability of the each individual coming into the my. So as I have taken already the example, so we will take like these are the 10 individuals who are very close. So there are 90% chance that they are coming. So the probability becomes 0.9. So maybe 10 are the guests, 10 are the such guests. So 10 into 0.9 means 9 are the sure shot guests which are coming. So 9 are the sure shot, and then some with the 50%, some with the 40%, and so on. So accordingly, we'll calculate the total number of expected number of guests. So that is the role of the probability. And if I come with the probability, the formula for probability is as simpler as the number of favorable events divided by the number of total events. So number of favorable events divided by the number of total events, or the you can say the favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. Fine. So let's take the example. You want to have the probability of 2 in a throw of a dice. Probability of getting a number 2 in a throwing of a dice. So what is the answer? So probability of getting a 2 in a throw of a dice. So number of favorable events divided by the number of total events. So in a dice, what is the favorable case over here? What is the favorable case in our particular example? Getting a 2 is a favorable case. So how many times a 2 can come in a dice?
One time.
How many times the 2 can come in a dice?
Only one time, sir.
One time. So number of favorable cases are 1, and the divided by the total number of outcomes in a throwing of a dice. So the total number of outcomes are
6.
6. So probability of getting a 2 in a single throw of a dice is 1 by 6.
6.
So that is the probability of throwing of a 2 in a throw of a single dice is 1 is the number of favorable case, and 6 will be the total number of cases. So that's why 1 by 6 is the probability. So here is our some definitions. The one is the event. Event is any event. Event means a throwing of a dice, throwing of a coin, declaring a get together. All these are the event. So these are the events. So if I make an event of throwing of a coin, so next comes what are the outcomes. So outcomes is event of throwing of a coin results in how many outcomes?
6.
How many outcomes? The event is the event of throwing of a coin gives the outcomes. How many outcomes can be there in an event of throwing of a coin?
2, sir.
The two outcomes are there. One is head and another one is tail. So you have the only two outcomes of an event in which we are tossing a coin one time. So one is head and another one is tail. Fine. What are the number of outcomes in throwing of a dice? And throwing of a dice is an event. And I'm talking of how many outcomes can be there in a throwing of a single dice.
6.
6 outcomes are there. Now in throwing of a two dice.
12.
86.
In how many number of outcomes can be there in a throwing of an event which is like throwing of two dices. Now I am throwing two dices. I want to calculate how many number of possible outcomes can be there of an event of throwing of two dices.
36.
36. Why? It is like you can have in first dice you have 1, then 1,
1
2,
1 2
1
1 3
1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1 6, then 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4 2 5 2 6, then 3 1 3 2 3 3 3 4 3 5 3 6 4 1 4 2 4 3 4 4 4 5 4 6 5 1 5 2 5 3 5 4 5 5 5 6 6 1 6 2 6 3 6 4 6 5 6 6. So if you are to add all these cases, it comes out to be 36. So the general formula becomes the number of outcomes raised to the power the number of trials.
So if you're sharing the screen, it's not visible to me.
Right now I'm not shared the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So the number of total outcomes can be like the number of outcomes raised to the power number of trials. So in the previous case, if it is a single dice, we have only two outcomes possible, head and tail. But if we throw a dice coin twice, then how many number of outcomes can be there? All possible outcomes. So all possible outcomes can be head head, head tail, tail head, and tail tail.
tail.
So there will be 4 cases. So which can be number of outcomes raised to the power number of trials. So number of outcomes are 2, and raised to the power number of trials is also 2. So 2 raised to the power 2, 4. So that's why it coming out to be 4 cases, which are head head, head tail head, and tail tail. If we are throwing the coin thrice, then what can be the all possible outcomes?
9.
8. 8.
8. 2 raised to the power 3. Number of outcomes is 2 again. Trials are 3. So 2 raised to the power 3 is 8. So what are those 8 cases? Head, head, head,
Head, head,
then
head.
head, 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 tail, head, head, tail, head, 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 tail, head, tail, tail. Then tail, 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 head, tail, tail, head, and tail, tail. Fine. So in that way you can calculate your 8 number of cases, but we are not interested in the cases. We are interested in the number of cases. So if we are calculating over here the total number of cases, the total number of outcomes are 8 in case of throwing of 3 times a dice. So if we are throwing a coin 3 times, the total number of all the possible outcomes are 8. Now suppose somebody will ask, in a throwing of 3 times of a dice, in how many times you are saying that there will be 2 heads? You have to find the probability of 2 heads in throwing of 3 coins. So what is the probability of 2 heads? So what is the probability of 2 heads? So you'll make the case. So the first case is head, head, head. Then head, tail, head, head, tail, and head, tail, tail. Clear? So in every 8 cases, now you have to check in how many cases we have 2 heads in it. Exactly 2 heads in all the 8 cases. So we have to count that what are the number of cases in which we get the 2 heads. Now those cases are the number of favorable events, and your total number of events is your 8. So let's take this example. I'll show you in the Excel sheet only. So like throwing of a dice. So all the possible outcomes are, the first is head, head, head. Then you have head, tail, head. You have head, tail, head. Then you have head, head, tail. And you have head, tail, tail. So these are the 4 first cases, and then tail, head, head, tail, you have tail, head, head, you have tail, tail, head, you have tail, you have tail, head, tail, and last is tail, tail, tail. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the 8 cases which can be possible of all the outcomes of throwing of a 3 dice. और तो कोई outcome नहीं हो सकता इसके अलावा. Fine. So these are the 8 cases in which we can, all the possible outcomes of throwing of a coin. Now we want to find the probability of 2 heads. So I will check in how many cases there will be 2 heads. So in this will be 3 heads. So leave that. There will be 2 heads in this case. 1, 2, 3. So there will be 3 cases in which we get 2 heads. So the probability becomes number of favorable divided by total. So which is 3 by 8. So probability becomes 3 by 8 of exactly 2 heads in a throwing of 3 times the dice, 3 times the coin. Now if somebody will ask what is the probability of having 3 heads? What is the probability of having 3 heads?
1 by 8.
So only there is a single case which is this 3 heads. So 1 is the favorable and total is the 8. So 1 by 8 is the total. Fine. So in that way, but now if I ask you that I have tossed a coin 4 times. Now what is the probability that having 2 heads? So now you have to make the cases. How many cases are possible? How many cases are possible? 2 raised to the power 4, 16 cases are possible. So it is very difficult to find those 16 cases. But if it is more, 5, 6, 7, so that the complications will get increased in calculations of these. What are the outcomes? But we are not interested with the what are the outcomes. We are interested only with the total number of outcomes. So in a throw of a coin 4 times, I want to find the probability of having 2 heads. So in that particular case, we'll apply the distribution that we will be doing in the future lectures. That is your binomial, Poisson, or normal distribution. So it can be calculated with the help of distribution, that out of 4, in how many times the 2 heads is actually coming. Fine. So that we will be calculating through your distributions, which we have to discuss in detail in the future. But the thing is, we are interested with the only definition is the number of favorable events divided by the total number of events. So we have to take the data and check what are the total number of outcomes of this particular event and what will be the total number of favorable outcomes in this particular event. Then we have to divide with the number of favorable divided by the total. So let's take the another example. What is the probability of getting an odd number in a throw of a dice? What is the probability of getting an odd number in a throw of a dice?
1 by 2.
Tell me, what are the number of favorable cases over here?
3.
3.
So 3 are the favorable cases. Getting a 1, 3 or 5. That is an odd number. So 1, 3, 5 is the number of favorable events. So 3 are the number of favorable events. Total number if outcomes is 6. So your answer becomes 3 by 6, which is 1 by 2. So there is a 1 by 2 probability that will get an odd number in a throw of a dice. Fine. Now in the previous question, if I have changed the question to at least 3 heads, then what is the answer? This is the question not for 2 heads. It is a question for at least 2 heads. Then what are the number of favorable outcomes? At least 2 heads means 2 or more. So this case is also eligible. So this is eligible.
4.
This is also eligible. This is also eligible because at least 2 means 2 or more. So this is also eligible. Head tail tail is not eligible. Tail head head is again eligible. This is not eligible. This is not eligible. This is not eligible. So we
4.
have 4 cases which are eligible with
1 by 2.
at least 2 heads. Only 2 heads. What are the number of cases of only 2 heads? 1, 2. It is like 1, 2, 3. So 3 are the cases only with 2 heads and 4 are the cases with at least 2 heads. So at least 2 heads means minimum 1 and rest 1 or more. Sorry, at least 2 means 2 or more. So it can be 2, it can be 3. So this case was also added into the previous one. Fine. So that becomes your the definition of your probability, number of favorable events divided by the total number of outcomes. So the total favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. So here we are interested in calculation of the number of favorable outcomes and then the total outcomes. So only 2 things we have to calculate: number of favorable divided by the number of total. So we'll divide it and we'll get the answer of probability. But the thing is, so how to calculate these total number of favorable cases and your. So if in case of a 3 coin, it is manageable to do the same. But if you will try to all the possible outcomes of the 4 coins, it will be very difficult to calculate the cases. In somewhere you get confused at which case has already been taken care of. So that is a problem in case when there will be more number of trials. So to avoid that, we have the another thing which is known as probability distribution, in which a event is repeated number of times. So event is not occurred once, it has repeated number of times, and down I have to calculate in how many times. If I throw a particular coin 20 times, what is the probability that we are giving? Exactly 2 heads in 20 trials. So that we can take the help of the binomial theorem or further concepts. So to calculate the number of favorable or the total number of cases, we have a concepts like permutations and combinations. So there is a one concept known as a permutations and combinations. So permutations and combinations is a permutation means a arrangement of the things. So permutation stands for the arrangement of the things. So if we are arranging the things, so the order of the event is also known as the permutation. But if we are, and combination is the selection of the event, selection of the outcomes. So if the case of only selection is there, if the case of only selection is there, it is a case of So if there is a case of combination, so that means it is a case of only selection. But now if it is a case of permutation, then it is a case of the number of possible arrangements also. So for example, we'll take arrangements of 2 things out of 3. So we have to arrange 2 things out of 3. So like it is, the 3 cases are A, B and C. Suppose these are the 3 cases total. And now we have to make the arrangements of 2 out of 3. So what are the possible cases of selections 2 from 3? So how many possible selections can be there of 2 from 3? It can be AB, it can be AC, it can be BC. Any more selection can be there? If apart from these AB, AC and BC, if there can be any other possible selection of 2 out of 3. BA, if you are talking of, okay, BA or CA or CB. So what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two?
Order.
This is
Difference of order.
the difference in the sequence. The arrangement is different. Here it is A, B is suppose left, right, and it is right, left. One A is placed on first, B is placed on second, and in BA the order gets reversed. But the thing is, if AB and BA the selection is 2 out of 3 the same, in the sorry. So in this particular example, if you're taking AB or BA, the combination is same, the selection is same, that it is of AB, but arrangement says in one case we have made AB, in another case we have made BA. So permutation become 2 cases, but if I'll take the case of a combination, it will be a 1 case. So in case of a combination, it is a single case, but in case of a case of permutation, it is a 2 cases, because we have also made the number of arrangements. So if I talk of the number of all the possible combination cases of 2 from 3, so answer is, so there will be 3 combinations. There will be a total of 3 combinations. And if we're talking of the all possible arrangements, so how many arrangements can be there?
6.
How many arrangements can be there? There is a total of 6 arrangements, because AB and BA are 2 different arrangements. So there will be 6 combinations and 6 arrangements. Fine. Now if it is 2 out of 4, A, B, C, D. Now the total are 4. Now you have to make a combination of 2 from 4. So how many possible combinations can be there? So how many possible combinations can be there? So you have to make a cases A, B, then A, C, then A, D, then B, C, A, B, C, D you have to make. So then first you have make A, B, then A, C, then A, D, then B, C and B, D. Then next C, D.
CD.
So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there will be 6 number of possible combinations are there. Now if you're talking of permutation, so it will be like BA. Fine. It will be BA, CA, DA, CB, DB and DC. Clear? So we have made the 4 out of, and then now if we create more, we have created for 3, we have created for 4, now we make for 5. If you want to make it for 5, so it will be made more complex. Complexity बढ़ती रहेगी. Fine. So that is the problem. So, but we are not interested in, I'm telling you already, we are not interested in the cases. We are interested in the number of cases. हमें इससे मतलब नहीं है कि ये AB है, AC है, AD है, whatever it is. We are more interested in the number of possible combinations and permutations. So we are more interested in the total number of permutations and combinations rather than what are those cases. And it is very difficult as we increase the total number of n. It will become very difficult to make the cases in this form. So there we use the concept of the permutation and combination. So for example, in this particular case, we will check this through the formula. So combination says NCR. So it is a concept like NCR, where N is, so it is written in this form. So it will be written in this form NCR, where N is the total number. So NCR is this, where N is the total number of, you can say the total number of things from which you have to arrange. So this is your N. C stands for combination if you want to find the combination, and R stands for, like here in this case, 2 from 3. So R value is 2. So in our particular example, N is equal to 3. C stands for combination cases and R stands for in how many, 2 out of 3 है ना? So this R is 2. So you have to find the value of NCR. So NCR, the formula for NCR is equal to N factorial divided by N minus R factorial, and divide में ही है into, so this is whole divided by, you can say. So N factorial divided by N minus R factorial into R factorial, that becomes the formula for NCR. So N factorial divided by N minus R factorial into R factorial. So that returns the total number of possible combinations of 3 out of 2. Suppose in this particular example we have to find so what we have to find, we have to find the value of 3C2. So we have to find the value of 3C2, which means 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 factorial and multiply by R factorial. So R factorial is 2 factorial. So the answer becomes 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. And what is the definition of factorial? Factorial says, suppose we have to calculate the value of 3 factorial. So 3 factorial becomes 3 into 2 into 1. So that becomes your 3 factorial. If it is like 9 factorial, so the answer of 9 factorial is 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So you have to subtract 1 from each element till 1 comes. So that is the definition of your factorial. So if you will solve over here, so what is the value of 3 factorial? So 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. Then 3 minus 2, it is 1 factorial. 1 factorial is, so 6 factorial, 6 divided by 1 into which will be equal to 6 divided by 1 into 2 factorial is 2 into 1. So which is 2. So 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So answer should be 3. And our outcome is also all the possible combinations which we have made manually is also 3. So that supports your combination, that if we want to make the combinations of two things from 3, so the total number of the possible outcomes can be only 6. 3. So all the total possible outcomes in the combination will be 3. So that is, so we are interested in this number of cases 3. We are not interested in A, B, A, C, B, C. Similarly for this, if you want to calculate 2 from 4, so it will be 4C2. It will be 4C2, which is equal to 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial n minus r, and into again 2 factorial, because it is 4C2. So what is the answer? What should be the answer?
6.
So 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that will be 4 factorial, and 2 factorial is 2. 2 is factorial is 2. So your answer becomes 1, 2 and 2 cancel, and this is 2. So 6 is the 6 is the answer. So we have calculated the 6 cases also in the manual. So manual में भी 6 cases निकाले थे. So the formula will also support these 6. So there will be only 6 outcomes are there. So there will be again only 6 outcomes. So 6 possible combinations can be there of 2 from 4. So that is the concept of your combinations. Now if you want to find all the possible arrangements, so it is NPR now. So NP stands for permutations. Permutation means the arrangement of the things. So it is NPR, and the formula for this, there is a slight difference in the formula of NPR from NCR. So n factorial divided by, so in permutation it will be only this. So the NPR formula is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So further it will not be divided with the r factorial. So then it becomes a permutation cases. So same example, now you want to find 3p2. So 3p2 is 3 factorial divided by 1 factorial. So 3 factorial and divided by 1 factorial becomes 6. Answer becomes 6, and you have calculated all the possible arrangements is 6. So we have made here the manual cases, but you can make manual for maybe 3 or maybe up to 4. But beyond that, it is very difficult to make the possible outcomes of the multiple events. So this will be your 3p2. In the same way, if you want to calculate 4p2, so what will be the value of 4p2? So 4p2 is 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial. Fine. So 4 factorial is 4. So which will be equal to 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that will be 24, and divided by n minus r, 2 factorial, which is 2. So 12 cases are there. So we have a 12 cases of 2 from 4. So that supports your, so ultimately we want to find the number of all the possible arrangements or the permutations, arrangements or the selections. So if there is a question of arrangement, you have to apply the concept of permutation, and if it is a case of your selections, then you have to apply the example of combinations, concept of combination. So in that way, you have to decide in which, that I have to decide the number of favorable cases. So if that favorable cases comes out from combinations or come from the permutations. So I'll apply the respective concept and you can come up with the number of favorable events and the total events. You will divide it and you will get the required probability. So that is the concept we are using in the case of the probability, maybe the permutations and combinations to get up with the required number of cases which we want. Fine. So let's do the first example. What is the probability of throwing of a head in a single coin? Simple question, throwing of a head in a single coin.
So 1,
Probability.
50%. 1 by 2.
1 by 2. So probability is 1 by 2 because number of favorable is getting a head. There is only one head possible. So favorable is 1 and total is 2. So 1 by 2. Fine. What is the probability of odd number in a dice?
3 by 6, 1 by 2.
Odd number. So 1, 3, 5. So 3 favorable cases, total are 6. So 3 by 6, again 1 by 2 is the probability of having a odd number in a throw of a dice. Then at least 2 heads. At least sorry.
सर 42 की वैल्यू 12 में है अभी.
Your question is not clear.
सर 42 की वैल्यू 24 लिखी हुई है, 12 नहीं होगी वो.
नहीं, 24 divided by 2 factorial है ना. So it is like divided by 2 factorial, which is 2. So it comes out to be 12. So 12 are there na, so there will be 12 cases. So these are the 12 arrangements. So there will be 12 cases and answer also comes out to be 12. So next is, what is the probability of at least 2 heads in throwing of 3 coins?
Three by 8.
At least 2 heads. So at least 2 heads means 2 or more. So if we come up with these, all the possible cases we have calculated. So at least 2 heads. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 4 cases with at least 2. So because all these 4 cases are having 2 or more heads. So these 4 cases are eligible. So number of favorable cases are 4 and total is 8. So 4 by 8. Exactly 3 heads.
1 by 8.
1 by 8. Sorry, no, exactly 2. 3 by 8. Exactly 2. 1, 2 and 3. So there will be only how many cases? 3 cases are eligible for exactly 2 heads. So 3 by 8 is the probability. Fine. Next is, what is the probability of getting a sum of 9? Sum of 9 in throwing of 2 dice. What is the probability of getting a sum of 9 in throwing of 2 dice?
4 by 36.
Hello?
The answer will be 4 by 36.
4 by?
36.
So how you will calculate?
The possible outcomes are 3, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4.
So in that particular case, first you'll make the number of total outcomes. So what can be the total outcomes? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. So these are the first set. Then 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6. Then you have 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. Then you have 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6. 4, 5, 4, 6. Then you have 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6. Then you have 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6. Fine. So these are the 36 cases. So there will be 36 cases in total. So there will be 36 cases in the total, which the possible all the outcomes of throwing of a 2 dice. So there will be all possible outcomes. Now you have to check for the sum of 9. So sum of 9 means in all those cases we'll get a sum of 9. So sum of 9 you will get in how many cases? So we'll keep on red color on which are the sum of 9 is there. So this is the one case. So 6, 3, then 5, 4, then you have 4, 5,
Yes, sir.
then 3, 6.
3, 6.
Any other case?
No, sir, only 4.
So these are the 4 favorable events. So 4 favorable outcomes divided by total 36. So answer is 4 by 36.
1 by 9.
Fine. Now the next question says at least sum of 9. The word changed to at least sum of 9. So what are the at least sum of 9? What are the possible arrangements or what are the possible cases for at least sum of 9? At least sum of 9 means a sum can be 9, 10, 11, 12, 12 से ज़्यादा हो सकता है?
By 30. Answer
12
will
से
be 10 by
ज़्यादा
30.
56.
12 से ज़्यादा तो हो ही नहीं सकता because maximum outcome can be 6 and 6. So you
Yes, sir.
cannot get the sum greater than 12 in that. So all the possible outcomes which is sum of 9, 10, 11 or 12. So if we'll take this, so no case is eligible over here.
4 by 9.
No case is eligible of this. So but only case of 3, 6. Then you have, so one is this case. So one is this, then you have these 2 cases, then you have these 3 cases, then you have these 4 cases. So these are the only cases of at least sum of 9, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there will be 10 cases which has the sum at least 9. So the answer becomes 10 divided by 36. So 10 by 36 is the probability of the sum of getting at least 9 in a throw of 2 dice. Fine. Now next is what is the probability of getting a king from a pack of cards. What is the probability of getting a king from a pack of cards?
1 by 13.
4 by 50.
1 by
So 4 by 52.
1 by 13.
1 by 13 or 4 by 52.
52.
So you want to have a king from a pack of cards. So how many kings? So king is my favorable and total is the total number of cards. So favorable event is getting a king. So how many kings are there in a pack of cards?
4.
4 kings are there. So 4 are the favorable cases and divided by. So 4 divided by 52. So 1 by 13 or 4 by 52 is the required answer. Fine. Now getting a diamond. Getting a diamond from pack of cards.
13 by 52.
Getting a diamond from a pack of cards, there will be how many cards are of diamond are there?
13.
13 by 50.
1 by
Diamonds are there. So 13 divided by. So it is 13 divided by 52. So that will be your the probability of getting a diamond from the pack of cards. Now getting a red color in a pack of cards.
26 by 52.
So red color is 26 by 52. 13 of heart and 13 of diamond. So it comes out to be 26 by 52. Now next is probability of ace or king. Probability of ace or king. So in this case we have clubbed two things, ace or king.
8 by 52.
So ace or king means the meaning of this particular situation is your number of favorable are either aces or kings.
Kings.
So either you will get ace or you will get king. Both are favorable in your particular case. So our definition of favorable comes either ace or king. So there will be 4 cases are involved of ace and 4 cases are involved for king. So the total number of favorable are 8 and the total is 52. So answer becomes 8 by 52. So the answer becomes 8 by 52. Fine. Now the probability of ace and king. What is the difference between the two? Probability of ace or king and probability of ace and king.
So that means one each, either one each ace and king in each.
No. Or and and. What is the difference between or and and?
So and मतलब कि दोनों एक साथ मतलब या तो एस है या तो किंग है.
That is or.
और हो जाएगा सर. एस एंड किंग मतलब कि दोनों अगर हम दो निकालें तो एक एस है और एक किंग है.
That is or. Or says either you will get a ace or a king. Both are favorable.
Or is either and
Either.
is both.
And is both.
Both.
The probability of ace and king means you require both. Ace and king both. So you want to find the probability of a favorable event And the definition of favorable here is getting a ace and king both at the same time. Getting a ace and king at the same time. That is your definition of ace and king. So what is the definition? What is the number of favorable events of getting an ace and king? Tell me if there is any card in the pack of cards which is ace and king both.
No.
So there will be no card which is ace and king. So the answer becomes 0 divided by 52. As there is no card in the pack of cards which is ace also and king also. So there is no card. So these are two, ace and king. They are independent events, you can say. So they are independent. Ace and king, they have not a relation between them. So ace are 4 cards of ace and 4 cards of king are independent to each other. So they don't have any interaction between them. So the probability, there is no card in the pack which is ace also and king also. So that's why the answer becomes 0 by 52. Of ace or diamond. First ace and diamond. Probability of ace and diamond.
So 1 by 52.
So ace and diamond is
1 only. 1 event.
So there is one card which is a diamond of an ace. There is one card in the pack of cards which is diamond also and ace also. So the answer becomes 1 by 52. Fine. Any doubt till now? अभी तक कोई भी डाउट है तो बताओ. So from
Sir,
this there is a
excuse me, sir.
हाँ,
सर
हाँ.
इसमें एस एंड डायमंड का कार्ड है ना, मतलब एस के 4 और डायमंड के 13, जिसमें से एक एस का ऑलरेडी है, तो इनका इसका आंसर 15/52 नहीं होना चाहिए?
ace
Sorry.
and diamond.
सॉरी 16/52.
एक सेकंड बता रहा हूँ. Ace and diamond है. Ace and diamond mean not either. You are telling the answer for ace or diamond. What you are telling is correct. What you are telling is
Okay,
correct,
right.
but it is the answer for ace or diamond. But this is the case we are doing for ace and diamond.
जी जी.
So we require both ace and diamond both. So there is only one card which is ace and diamond both. Fine. So that what you are telling is correct for ace or diamond. Either ace or diamond, that is correct which you are telling is. But for
Ji,
ace
right, sir.
and
Got it.
diamond, there is only one card which is ace 1 by 52. Clear? So from this there is a two concepts here. If it is ace or king. So if it is or, it is a meaning like A union B. Is a case of a union. Union means either ace or king, so it will be read as ace union king. Fine. And if it is and, it is a case of intersection. So it is a case of union. If it is or, it is a case of union. And if it is you can say and, it is a case of intersection. So intersection is inverted U. So inverted U is a symbol for the intersection. So A intersection B. So that means ace and king. So that is a case of your intersection. Intersection means and case, union means or case. A or B, it is meaning like A union B, A and B means A intersection B. So that is the symbol meaning of this union and intersection. Now the next question is probability of ace or diamond. Probability of ace or diamond, either ace or diamond. So in that particular case, so there it will be a case of probability of A union B. You want to calculate this probability of A union B, ace or diamond, where A is ace and diamond is B. So we want to calculate P of A union B. So what is the P of A union B? So if we calculate probability of A, probability of ace we have already calculated as 4 by 52. So 4 by 52 is the probability of so 4 by 52 is the probability of ace. Similarly for diamond it is 13 by 52. So diamond for ace it is 4 by 52, for diamond it is 13 by 52. Now A or B, so we have to add the probabilities of the both. So union means addition. So union means you have to add the two things. So union means addition of the two things. So if you have to find the A union B, then you have to add these two. So 4 by 52 plus 13 by 52. But the problem is here there is one card which is ace and diamond. So it will be counted in this 4 also and it will be counted in this 13 also. अब वो जो एस एंड डायमंड वाला एक कार्ड है वो इस 4 में भी काउंट हो गया और इस 13 में भी काउंट हो गया, तो डबल काउंटेड हुआ ना वो. So that single card will be counted twice, one in this and another one in this. So it will be counted twice. A single card is counted twice. But actually it is a one card, but it is counted twice in the 4 by 52 also and 13 by 52 also. So for that we have to subtract that, otherwise there will be a wrong answer. So that is your one card which has to be subtracted. So that probability is 1 by 52. So your net answer becomes. So your net answer becomes 16 by 52. So there will be effective. So there will be effective 16 cards. So there will be effective 16 cards which are ace or diamond. Fine, because we have to subtract that one card which is common, which is, and what is this 1 by 52, which is intersection. So the formula for PA union B. So the general formula for PA union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection. Fine. So this becomes the formula for the A union B. So which is equal to PA plus PB minus PA intersection B. Now if you want to find for ace or king, as we have already calculated this, ace or king, 8 by 52. So why it is 8 by 52? Why the A intersection B is not subtracted over here? 4 cases of ace, 4 cases of king. Both are added to find 8 by 52. But why there is no subtraction? In this particular case, why there is no subtraction? As we have subtracted one case in case of ace or diamond. But why we are not subtracting those cases in ace or king? Tell me why we have not subtracted that subtraction cases in case of ace or king.
Because intersection is pi, no card is common here.
Because A intersection B is 0. There will be no card which is having a ace and king. So that is known as a independent events. So those are known as the independent events where A intersection B is equal to 0. But otherwise, if there will be any intersection, we have to subtract that number of cases. So that becomes your yes. Any doubt till now? So if there will be a 3 cases, like 3 events are there, so here we'll be having 2, ace or diamond. So now if you want to have for 3, so the general formula becomes I will edit that only. A union B union C you want to calculate. So now there will be 3 cases, A union B union C. So the answer becomes probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of A intersection C minus of probability of B intersection C plus probability of A probability of A intersection B intersection that becomes the formula for 3 cases, which is probability of A plus B plus C minus P A intersection B minus P A intersection C minus P intersection B intersection C plus P of A intersection B intersection C. So पहले तो तीनों probabilities add कर दी. Then we have to subtract those which is common in 2. So AB the common part is subtracted, AC the common part is subtracted, then BC the common part is subtracted. But in these subtractions, that thing which is common among all the 3 is subtracted. So that's why we have to add the common between all the 3. So that's why there is addition of PA intersection B intersection C. So in that way we can calculate the union of A, B or C. So this can be done either from the Venn diagrams also. So that you can take the help of the Venn diagrams. It is come under their logical reasoning that we have created the Venn diagram, and from that we will find the what is the P intersection A union B and so on. So that is the concept. We are not going into details of the Venn diagram, but you can calculate this with like this. Fine enough. So this is the probability. Now next can be your find the probability. So like write down the question. There is a bag. There is a bag containing There is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black. There is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black balls. What is the probability of a white ball? Probability of a white ball. What is the probability of a white ball?
Six by 10.
So probability of white ball is favorable is getting a white ball is a favorable. So how many favorable cases are there? So it will be equal to 6 divided by, and 10 is the total. So the probability becomes 0.6. Fine. Now let's suppose we have probability of, we have selected 2 balls. What is the probability that the both are white? Now we have now we have fetched 2 balls. Now I want to find that both are white balls. Now what is the answer? Tell me now, what is the answer? Instead, there is the same question, but instead of 1 we have put we have not put, we have fetched. We will have pull 2 balls. So there is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black balls. 2 balls are drawn now. Instead of 1, 2 balls are drawn. What is the probability? What is the probability of both white? What is the probability of both white balls? Tell me the answer. So it will be the probability question. These probability questions are very short, but it can be level of difficulty can be higher. But if you know the answer, it will take hardly a minute to solve it. So there is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black balls. 2 balls are drawn. What is the probability?
So 1 by 3.
How?
Sir, 6C2 divided by 10C2 because we are selecting 2 white from 6.
Yeah, fine. So here the concept of combination will apply, because there is a 2 balls now. Now we have to find the number of favorable events to select the 2 white from 6 first. So we have to select how many number of possible possible combinations can be there to select 2 white from 6 first. So the number of favorable cases becomes number of favorable cases first. So we have to calculate the number of favorable cases. So what are the number of favorable cases? It will be equal to 6C2. Because with the total of white are 6 balls, and from that 6 we want to draw 2 white balls. So 6C2 will be the number of favorable events. So what is the answer for 6C2? So answer for 6C2 is 6 factorial divided by n minus r factorial, which is 4 factorial, and multiply by 2 factorial, which is 6 into 5 into 4 factorial, divided by 4 factorial into 2 into 1. So it comes out to be 6 into 5, 30, 30 divided by 2, 15. So answer becomes 6C2. The answer becomes 15. Fine. Now the total number of cases. In the denominator, we want the total cases. So total cases are, so the total cases are 6 white and 4 blacks. From the total 10, we have to buy any 2 balls. So any 2 balls means 10C2. So that is your 10C2. So your 10C2 value is 10 factorial divided by 8 factorial into 2 factorial. So 10 into 9 divided by 2 into 1. So that comes out to be 45 cases. So 45 is this. So your probability becomes 15 by 45, which is 1 by 3. Clear? Any doubt? कोई डाउट इसमें? Again, take this. There is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black balls. 2 balls are drawn. What is the probability of 1 white and 1 black? अब ये बताओ. There is a bag containing 6 white and 4 black. 2 balls are drawn. What is the probability of 1 white and 1 black?
8 by 15.
Tell me the process, not the answer.
Sir, 6C1 multiply 4C1 divide by 10C2.
Yeah. So, what is the probability of 1 white and 1 black? So, 1 white from 6. So, number of favorable cases is 6C1. And then 1 black from 4. So, that is 4C1. And you want both white also, black also. So, that's why it is a case of multiplication. So, the net becomes 6C1 multiply by 4C1. And whole divided by the total number of cases, which is 10C2. So 6C1 is 6. The value, the answer for 6C1. So value of 6C1 is 6 factorial divided by 5 factorial into 1. So it comes out to be 6. Then 4C1 is 4. So 24 is the answer for numerator. And for denominator, it is 10C2, which is 45. So 24 by 45, which comes out to be 8 by 15. Comes out to be 8 by 15. So that will be the answer of probability of 1 white and 1 black. Any doubt up to now? अभी तक किसी को कोई डाउट हो तो बताओ. And more the questions you are practicing, the more you can say you can have the probability concepts of strong enough. Because there can be a difficulty level of these questions can be higher. Concept is the same, but the level of difficulty can be increased by having more levels, or maybe complexity can be increased by the questions. Fine, but it will be more clear when we are doing more practice questions. Fine enough. So then these are the basic concepts of probability. Now the next comes, that is your conditional probability. Next is your conditional probability. Conditional probability is probability of one thing given a particular condition. Like you want to find the probability of, let's take the example, we have a section, we have suppose your class is there. I have taken a test out of 50 marks. Now I want to find the probability that I have selected a particular student and he is a boy. Now I want to find the probability that this boy has scored greater than 30 marks. The question is clear. I have selected one of the student and he is a boy. And now I want to find the probability that this particular boy has scored greater than 30 marks in the exam. So that means we want to find the probability of greater than 30 marks given he is a boy. So that is the meaning of a conditional probability. We want to find the probability of one given that he has meet a particular condition. So probability of greater than 30 given a boy, that is a definition of the conditional probability. So suppose the given condition will be like the boy is given. Let's take the another example. I have selected a particular student and he has scored greater than 30 marks. I have selected a particular student and the student has scored greater than 30 marks. Now I want to find that the probability that he is a boy. Now the situation changed to, you want to find the probability of a boy given that has already scored greater than 30 marks. So this will be the another, you can say, reciprocate condition. So this is the conditional probability in which you want to find the probability of one thing given the particular condition. Okay, so you have to identify that which thing is asked in the question. So if it is P A given B or P B given A, so whatever the given condition is after this slash. So whatever it is given, it is to be written after the slash. So P A given B means you have to find the probability of A given the B condition. And P B given A means you have to find the probability of B given the satisfaction of A condition. So that is the meaning of your probability, conditional probability, and you can calculate this with, like, suppose a general formula for P of A given B. So probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B P of A intersection B divided by probability of this becomes the probability of P of A given B, which is probability of A intersection B divided by PB. Now if you want to find the P of B given A, the formula becomes So A intersection B or B intersection A, it is one and the same thing, but the only difference comes in the denominator part. So it becomes probability of fine. So that becomes your conditional probability, in which it is you have to measure is you have to identify that if you are asked with A given B or B given A, then you have to solve this according to the application of the formula P A intersection B divided by PB. If it is P A given B, or if it is P B given A, it is P of A intersection B divided by PA. Fine. And the another method to find the conditional probability is your Bayes theorem. So I am not starting the Bayes theorem today. We will doing the same in the next week. But the another way to find the conditional probability is Bayes theorem. Fine. So we are left with the probability, the Bayes theorem, and then we have a distribution of the probabilities. So distribution probability means here we have done the event only one time, like we have thrown a dice twice or thrice. But if we have make the event like we have tossed a coin 20 times or 30 times, out of 20 times throwing of a dice, I want to calculate the probability of having exactly 4 heads. So in that particular situation, I will apply the distribution. So that we'll be discussing in the later classes, but till now I'm stopping over here only for today. So that is the concept of probability, the general concept of probability you are saying. Fine. So next. So any doubts we can discuss? Any doubts of anyone else? So first of all, I stop the recording.